my bosses think that I have like always held a phone. I've always been on it's like
Oh,
I didn't have an
because
Instagram
I think
until like high school.
congrats
No,
to
my
dinosaur. Like,
we should get a bunker. Dare I say frat stars? Like, you killed this guy. He didn't, because he's like secretly in love with her. Obviously. Duh. Because he's a serial killer and he wants to kill all the other serial killers.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Literally, I beg you, dog. Do not read this. No, she ordered club soda with lime at the bar. He called her mama.
Loser. I need a production crew, I need a set, I need a budget. If you turn on a Hallmark movie right now, it's the same plot. Girl, you write a great book. Get off my For You page.
Need to know your every waking move the way I need to know Tom Blythe's. You know, amped derogatory. I love him, but I love him too. Nightbane almost got me fired from my job. Clickbait. People Magazine did like an exclusive on their wedding, and I'm gonna fucking punch a wall.
He's blonde.
Yeah, I was like,
When did I miss this? Well, I think even for them, like us having that abundance of technology at the age of like 10, because I think same, like I didn't get like, I got my mom's like old iPhone 3 in like 5th grade, like the end of 5th grade. I was going to middle school.
I think
And
that's
actually,
what I
I
meant.
did end up getting Instagram like right when it came out, which is why my handle's my name.
Oh, slay.
um
Mine used
which
to be.
and
Continue, sorry. Not relevant.
everyone always thought it was weird because they're like, it's just your name, and everyone had like unicorn cat lover 4000 because that was like what we thought handles were. But now that like I'm an adult and like everyone's like, oh, I can't get my name now because my name's like Sophia Smith, and like everyone has that name. I was like, should have been smarter in 5th grade.
I bet I could get my name. Like my full name.
You could definitely
No
get your
one
name.
wants that.
No one has your last name.
No one. I know, it's kind of cool. But my original Instagram name was like I could have gone for my name like you did, but I was like, no, I have to be Rachel Bagel because it's my nickname, Bagel. But
I mean, I think
matter.
it's funny because a lot of people like our age, like in their younger 20s or mid 20s, like have it as their name or like first name, middle name, like any kind of variation of that. But like millennials who are like 30 and older all kept that like quirky name. Like I know people who is like her last name has like the word show in it, so it's like the like her last name show must go on. What else? I've seen like other people, like every once in a while, like those people will post like for someone's wedding and like someone's handle is literally like dinosaur, like something. I'm like, you're getting married and that's your hand. Congrats to dinosaur. Like what?
My cousin is like, she's a millennial, and so she like had like a silly Instagram name, and it had to do with like she had fish, like that was her pet, because like my uncle was like, we're not getting a dog or a cat, like you can have fish. So her Instagram name was like her name and then like something fish or whatever, because like she loved her fish, and I'm like, okay, fine. We all just got Instagram. Then it's like, usually it's like, oh, I'm kind of getting older, I'm gonna change it to my actual name, like I'm gonna see if I can get a variation of my name. Nope. She changed it, and this was recent, to something like squishy something.
Like
I can't remember now.
Hello, or like
I'm not gonna say her handle on the internet.
That's fair. That's
But it was one of those like dinosaur asteroid 25. Like it's like that. It's like that energy where it's like, you're almost 30. What are you doing?
I kind of like that like thought of like social media is so unserious that like it doesn't matter that your handle's like something silly, like that's the point.
Oh no, like go off, but like it's just happy birthday, unicorn asteroid 25. Like,
Yeah. Happy
okay.
birthday. Like what? I think we
I
just
don't
view it
know.
differently because it's like it oh, it's like really storming here. It's been like dark all day. It looks like dusk because it's so like
it does look like
disgusting.
dark where you are.
Yeah. Um undisclosed location.
A bunker
Redacted.
somewhere.
I'm underground. It's always dark. Like
We should get a bunker. I think no.
so
Oh my god.
ranch
Have y'all
house, beach house, bunker.
No. On the ranch house, we're gonna have a missile silo. You can live in those.
You think they'll let us
They're
buy
these
Area 51?
with enough money. Whose dick do I have to suck to the aliens? Aliens,
Oh,
I'm here.
I come in peace.
Oh, I was just about to say that. Oh, that's funny.
I'm so sorry. What were you saying about Area 51?
Oh, I was just talking about the missile silos. They're like these silos underground that held missiles during the Cold War. They obviously don't anymore. I actually don't know if they ever did. It's a threat to Russia. But you can buy them and live in them.
Oh, like the shells.
Yeah, like the case, like the silo. But it's a reverse silo.
Oh.
It's
Kind of
like
like the beds in Despicable Me.
actually, yeah. Gru's house, like his like lair where all the minions live, is like under his house.
Mm-hmm.
That.
I'm gonna need one of those. Yeah, that's where I am currently,
Right.
if anyone was wondering.
Mm-hmm.
So. Well, we really got off track on that one. What are you reading this week, Rachel?
Oh my god. I'm so glad you asked because
Oh.
between
I get nervous
between
every time I ask that question because I genuinely don't know what you're reading because sometimes you don't update your Goodreads or I don't check it.
I
I don't
also
know what's gonna
sometimes read too
happen.
fast that you can't even catch what I'm reading because it's already done. It's
No,
already been
literally.
started and it's already been finished. So, from our last recording to now, I finished Belladonna. I started and finished Marrow by sorry, not fucking prepared. Um by Trista Wolfe and Brynn Weaver. And if you don't know who Brynn Weaver is, she wrote Butcher and Blackbird, which is like now one of my favorite books. I love her writing. And she wrote this book called Marrow with a buddy. And it's about rival serial killers. Obviously, that's like her niche. We might need a whole episode on this because my I haven't given a review. That's probably why no one knows that I read it. But my obsession with like the serial killer trope is going to get out of hand soon because it's really good. Like,
The government's gonna
anything
come knocking
that
at your door.
yeah, I'm kind of concerned. But here's the thing: both of the serial killer like romances that I've read, they're killing bad people. Like in Marrow,
Yeah.
her gig, like her like MO is she
Mm-hmm.
kills dare I say frat stars? Like she kills like frat guys who like drug girls at parties and like at bars. So it's like she's doing the Lord's work. Like, thank you, Queen. Um I love her. She is so badass. Um and so her like rival is this, so they're
Right.
professors at a university first and foremost. And
Okay, slay. She really is doing the Lord's work, teaching college students and then killing the bad ones.
yeah, she's a anthropologist, and he is a forensic anthropologist. And his like main thing is like dealing with the way bodies decompose. So it's like, of course you're a fucking serial killer. Like, you get off to like skeletons and like he collects bones. He is freak nasty, but I really like him. Like, he's so weird. Um, and so his name is Jack.
I'm sorry. I don't know why that got me.
She says that to him too. She doesn't say that exactly, but she's like, "You're a freak." But it's after they've just hooked up, so like, she's into it.
Yeah.
So am I.
Right.
I'm glad that got you.
Sorry, so his name's Jack.
His name's Jack Sorensen. Like,
Big
that's
fucking
such
surprise. Sorry.
a badass name. And so the book kind of starts out is he is supposed to be presenting her an award from the university of like, not MVP, because that's not what it is, but it's like a most
It's like an
improved,
honor.
like, yeah, like an honor for like the work you've done for the university over like, oh, because she started this program that like has gone really well, so she's getting an award. He is supposed to present her with the award. He shows up late, so he doesn't get to, and she's like, well, fuck you. But she like also neglects to mention him in like her thank you speech, like for winning the award. It's a whole like thing. But then he's like, she's onto something. And next thing we know, he finds her in. So they have at the university this thing called the body farm. It's where like people basically donate their body like to science.
A morgue, yeah.
Yeah. So they have that at the school. So he finds her like after the like little award gala, like cutting up a dead body. And he's like,
Wait,
what
she
the
finds
fuck?
him or he finds her?
He finds her cutting up the dead body.
Okay.
And it's the body of one of the grad students. And she's gonna like frame him. Like, you killed this guy. He didn't, obviously. But there's this one scene and she's like cutting up the body and she's like talking to him. And she takes the arm out of like the body bag that she's cut up and she like waves it at him, like the arm. And it's just, she's so silly. Like, I love her. She's crazy. I just, I have things. I'm on my Kindle. So
Because I connected my
yeah.
Amazon to my Kindle. Yeah. My Amazon to my no, that was stupid. My Amazon to my Goodreads. I can pull up my notes on my Goodreads. So if I like take something off my Kindle because it's unlimited, Kindle Unlimited or whatever, it'll like still be there.
I like that.
Sorry.
I write them. I go and write them in my notes. So, just gonna give you some background on our little serial killer man named Jack. He is like, he's described with like super dark, like pitch black hair. He's blonde. Sorry, I don't know. I think it's the serial killer. I think it's the evil that just makes him blonde.
I think we're the only people
who
on
want
BookTok.
Blonde.
Yes.
That's what I've been saying. I don't get when people are like, oh, but like he's like the main guy's blonde, like boo.
No, I'm.
That means they're probably evil. Yeah, I'm like, but I wrote in my notes because she's describing him, and I said, got to find a man with ice cold blood and a non-existent heart rate, because that's how she describes him. Because she's like, she knows he's a serial killer, and we get into why she knows that, and it goes crazy. Like, their connection, the whole reason why the book is called Marrow. Marrow is the stuff in your bones. You can eat it. Their whole thing is like their connection like runs deeper than marrow. Like that's the kind of, he kind of says that. It's crazy. Because I don't know if you want me to spoil it.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna read this.
But okay, yeah, I figured that you wouldn't read a serial killer romance, but
I love it. They're so interesting, but it's not my thing.
no, and that's totally I'll read them for you.
I love that. Thank you. I love the retelling.
So she's like burying half the body, she's, oh, by the way, the other half of this body, I'm gonna hold it like over your head, and like I could frame you at any moment for murdering this student. And they're like,
why?
This student like doesn't really matter. There's like a bigger scheme going on. But she decides to kill him because he's like a bad, like he's like drugging girls at like the college bar.
Yeah.
But she's just kind of mad at him for, he's been trying to like get her removed from the university as a professor because he's like, I can't have another serial killer in my territory because that just doesn't look good. He's also like an egomaniac.
Yeah, he is a murderer.
Yeah, and he's so hot. It's like ridiculous. It's like, anyway. So she's like, well, if you don't want me to hold this dead body over your head, like, tell me about the first time we met. And he
doesn't remember.
He describes the day that she came, like, for her interview, like, at the university. But that's not it. So
it's never that simple.
We're kind of piecing it together because obviously the university finds out that this student that she murdered is missing. So they call like a meeting of all the professors and they're like, if you hear anything, like, you know, like let the law enforcement know, like they're going to handle it. And then this FBI agent walks into the room, and our main girl, her name's Kyrie, by the way. She's like, get that man out of here. Like she's like visibly uncomfortable. Obviously Jack's like really upset about that because he obviously doesn't want anyone making her uncomfortable because he's like secretly in love with her. Obviously. Duh. So anyway, the FBI agent is like someone from her past that just not a good dude, just makes her really uncomfortable. But then Jack starts piecing it together. He's kind of doing some digging on the FBI agent. And he's like, this is kind of fishy because apparently he stopped working for the FBI like years ago, but he's showing up at the school like with a fake FBI badge and like trying to interrogate Kyrie. So I'm getting off track, but there's a lot. So basically she has this panic attack that triggers like a memory from her past. So then we get to see the memory. And the memory is that both of her parents were killed in front of her. And she was next, basically. It was like, I'm gonna kill your parents if you don't fucking like stop crying or whatever. Kills the parents anyway. And then he like stabs her with a knife and just like kind of leaves her like bleeding out on the floor. And he's like above, like gonna like kind of drive the knife further. And then someone tackles this guy off of her. And she's like barely conscious, but she's like, you saved my life, bro. She like doesn't remember, but obviously the guy who saves her is Jack. So that's the first time they've met. Is he basically saves her from this serial killer, because he's a serial killer and he wants to kill all the other serial killers in the area. You know.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. He can't have competition.
But he doesn't realize like that he saved her life. He didn't get her help or anything, but he like allowed
But
her
like
the
she would
chance
have
to.
died. Yeah.
Yeah, like um um so there's this like when he finally figures it out, he goes like the next day to her office and he's like, what the fuck, like why didn't you just tell me that from the beginning, that like I saved your life, like why are we like doing this back and forth? And she's like, how would I say, like how would I say that to you like upon our first meeting? And I have a quote, and she goes, "Oh, hello, Mr. Important Serial Killer Man. I've been stalking you for literally years, and you've never noticed, but you saved me from the Silent Slayer. And by the way, I also enjoy killing people. Pleased to meet you. We have a lot in common. Do you want to hang out?" And he's like, "Good point," because she's like, "You have been trying to get me like kicked out of the university like ever since I got here," and she's like, "I don't know why," and she says, I fucking idolized you and I never would have jeopardized your work.
Stop it.
That is so sweet. Like, she's like, I just like have so much respect for you because you saved my life.
Done.
And I just like, so then they kind of start this like, because they're very like flirty, bantery with each other. And they're like, okay, well, now that I know I saved your life, by the way, that officer, like that FBI agent that makes you really uncomfortable, yeah, he's not an FBI agent anymore. He actually got fired because he was like, he got too in deep with like the serial killer who killed her parents. And then like he started stalking Kyrie. So we're like,
Oh, because he's trying to like solve this case. He's like so
yeah.
obsessed.
So they're like, oh, we should get to the bottom of that. Because that's kind of like weird. So then they're like, okay, we need to throw something like off his trail that doesn't lead back to like, so he can kind of focus on something else. So there's this one scene where they're like, they show up at a bar and they're gonna like pretend, like they're gonna pretend to be dating so they can get this like frat guy, because he's like a voyeur, so he likes to watch. So like, hey, like, do you want to like come back, like we're having like a party like at my place, like you can watch.
Wait, but
And he's like,
like
oh,
recognize
okay.
them?
No, they put on like disguises. They like teach, like, it's not just like students at their school.
Oh.
Like clearly like this wasn't like a person that like would have interacted with them as professors. But also she does have like a disguise on. Because she learned that like he's into like blondes. Yeah, because she wears a blonde wig. So then they're like, oh, like come to like our place, like we're having an after party. And he's like, yeah, if I can watch, like you guys like make out. And they're like, okay. They're like, we just want to fucking kill this guy.
Yeah, we'll do that. You can watch us kill you.
We're still gonna make out, but like regardless if you're alive or not. It's basically like, that's basically the scene. But anyway, they're like making out or whatever. And this is like the first time like they've ever they'd kissed before. They like made out in like the like cryo chamber.
Oh yeah.
The crazy.
The freezer. The body
the
freezer.
basically. The body freezer. Yeah, actually. But they're like, this guy's still watching and they're gonna fuck. He whips his dick out. It is like pierced. Like, multiple. I gotta go. This guy is, like, insane. She's like, what the fuck, dude? But she's like, okay.
But also, why are they doing that? Just kill him already.
So then the guy's like, oh, like let me in on it. Sorry, I'm looking at my thing. Like, let me in on it. And he goes, I draw the line at thinking, like, I'll ever let you touch her. And then he slashes his throat with a switchblade. And then he just, like, kills the guy. Pool of blood on the floor. And they're gonna fuck in the pool of blood.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is not my cup of tea, really. I can't do it.
There's something about it that just hits, like, it itches my brain. I think as it's so outlandish, it's almost fantasy to me. Because it's like, we've talked about this at length, where it's like sometimes contemporary romance can get too real that it's like not even enjoyable anymore. And it's just like, you people are fucking boring. The serial killers, they can't be boring.
Just no way.
Because they're insane.
Literally.
What am I doing?
Would you read anything else?
Yeah, the things they say to each other. So, like Loki's like the most romantic thing I've ever heard. At the end of the book, they're obviously like together, like they're living together. And he like gets her like a gift. She is really into hunting. One, because she's a serial killer. Two, because she's a biologist. Yeah, because she grew up doing it with her dad. So he gets her this like really nice bow and arrow. Obviously, she's fucking Katniss. Everything goes back to Katniss. But she's like, oh my god, like, you don't have to like do all this. Like, you don't have to like get me like gifts. And he's like, you know, one time like you told me to, you know, grovel. You didn't say I had to stop. And I was just like, he loves her. And they get married. And usually when they get married and there's an epilogue, someone's pregnant. But no, because he got a vasectomy. Score! New favorite character. Literally can't have kids. Anyway.
That's crazy.
Well, I read a terrible fucking book.
Oh yeah, I want to hear about this.
Didn't finish it. Literally, I beg you, dog, do not read this. It is not worth your time at all. And I apologize to this author. What's her name? It's not even in my like read whatever. And
recently read.
I'd like to apologize to Elizabeth. That is the author
real name.
Of Accidental Puck Bunny. Fuck this book, bro.
So good on paper.
Well, because I love a fake dating situation.
Oh yeah, ultimate trope.
But this just like, this is my review. 1 star. I would give it like negative stars if I could. I said, this is what they make you read in hell. DNF at 93%. Clawing my eyes out as you read this. I'm having trouble composing how awful this was. I actually shriveled at how hard I was cringing. Never again. Never again. I'll stick to real hockey. Thank you. This man captioned his Instagram post, cutest pumpkin in the patch. Sorry, no thanks. # baby girl. It actually made me want to like, I wanted the serial killers like from the previous book
that bad.
To kill me. There's
I feel like that's not that bad, but like when you said they got pregnant, I was like, nope, never picking that up.
No. Because it's just like, it was weird because the way they announced that she was pregnant wasn't even like a, oh, and like, because they're having this like book release party because she like wants to have like a cookbook and she finally like got a publisher and like they're having a party for the release. Great.
Yay.
Congratulations, Queen, you got your dream and you are dating a hockey player. Like that's awesome. And they didn't even know each other for an entire hockey season. And
Like,
he proposed. That's not even a year, homie. And then so they're at the like release party. And so it's not, and he's like giving her like a toast, like, I'm just so proud of my wife. It's like cringe as hell, obviously, because he's cringe and he's not even a real man. But he's like, oh, like everyone grab a glass of champagne for the toast. Oh, and a like glass of like bubbly cider for the new mama. He literally says that. I'm not like I wish I was joking. But it's like she didn't drink anyway, so it wasn't even a big reveal. It wasn't like a she's not having like she's not having a glass of champagne, she's having like sparkling cider. It's like, no, she ordered club soda with lime at the bar like a month ago. Like she never drank. He called her mama.
Loser.
Like, y'all suck.
I think those like shirts and stuff that are like mama bear or like, like the patches on the bags are like really big right now, like when they say like mama.
That's what you're getting for your birthday. You're getting like one of those Stony Clover like toiletry bags that say mama. We're getting matching ones.
Oh god, I think if it's like mommy, like M-A
M-O-M-M-Y.
M-I no M-I
mommy.
like,
oh mommy. Oh,
like Spanish.
Yeah,
I think it'd be
still cringe.
funny.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
It's like on the bag.
Yeah.
Not in the book. The book's just cringe.
No.
We can't fix that.
It's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, do you write things as a joke? Am I supposed to be like, I feel like I'm not in on something.
Well, what's crazy is we were talking about this the other day, like there's so many hockey romances. First of all, there's so many romance books. Like the contemporary romance genre has taken off and everyone and their mother is indie publishing. Great. Love that. Like you can self-publish now. Doesn't mean you should.
Keep that in the notebook. Girl, like,
and
come on.
because all these people can write, like, I was saying this, we were like, oh, why do these people always write like cringy characters, like almost like pick me girls? And like, I hate to say that, but it's just like, I guess anytime you write a main character, it's gonna feel kind of pick me because they're literally the main character. But it just goes beyond sometimes when it's like, I'm gonna wear galaxy leggings unironically, and it's like, you're not cute. Like you can be quirky in different other ways, but
I think it's
because the people who write these are pick-me girls, or are writing them for pick-me girls, because like reading up until a few years ago was seen as very like nerdy. And different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, like maybe just don't write yourself. Not like don't, because but I'm thinking of our favorite little indie author, where it's like in Our Secret Moments, the character was like the main girl was clearly her, and not that I have any hate against her, because like go off, like write your little books, like I eat it up, but I think her better book was one where the character was like complete opposite, like
and I think,
but maybe it's because I like continue. So I'm gonna shut.
Sorry,
quiet mouse.
I think it's really impressive because now for sure. I think she has 3 books, and one's like a blonde athlete girl. One's like the rich like brunette girl, and then one's like
Hmm.
based on her. And I think
No,
it's great, and I think it really fills that need for like everyone to see themselves in that place.
oh, for
And
sure.
I'm guessing she's probably basing them off of like people she knows, which is like
Oh,
cool,
and
but
Slay. I love the range. Like she has range. Like she can write different characters, which is really nice. But then you have someone like I don't want to bag on any. Why do I say that? And I literally shit on Sarah J. Maas every day. But you have someone like Allie Hazelwood who is known for her like STEM romances. They're called because all her characters are like scientists, professors
oh yeah.
in the science chem field, which is great. You found your niche, and I also think she does have a degree in some science. So it's like, okay, you're writing what you know. That's like great. But every book. Oh, and don't get me wrong. I'm doing a whole experiment probably next month on where I read all these authors. So I will read them and I will come back to you and tell you if I like them or not. And
I
I'm
want to
going to read
read
the Allie Hazelwood one where the main character is blonde and his name is I'm not going to fucking say it. I need to stop saying that. It's another Jack. And he's another
mm.
professor. I got to stop.
It's I think why is the book industry just inundated with them?
I love it. I've
Um
never been more happy.
I actually kind of want to read Bride
And you can do that. I'm not.
cuz I'm like I don't think I'm going to like it. I think it's going to be painful for me to get through, but like I want to
Mm-hmm.
know. I need to know
Yeah.
firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm scared. Well,
Well, you read that. I'll read one of the like sciency ones,
slay.
and I'll get back to you.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, the only thing I really read.
Yeah, sorry, I
Well,
didn't
did I?
even ask.
Oh no, you're fine. Um, did I talk about Swift and Saddled last week?
Oh my god, no!
I
I
can't remember.
totally like. Yeah. Oh, and I finished the other Alive and Wells, but that's a we already talked about that.
Oh,
Continue.
okay.
Yeah, yes, I'd love to talk about
Um,
Swift and Saddled.
I it was good. Loved it. I gave it five
Mm-hmm.
stars, although I think I probably should have given it 4 stars. Liked Done and Dusted better, but I
Me
am
too.
very, very excited for the last one in the series, and I don't know what the
Yeah,
name of it is, but um
it's called like Lost and Lassoed, I think.
oh yeah, into it.
Yeah, yeah,
And I got to read the little like excerpt at the end of that one. So
yeah.
excited. But I don't know, it was okay. It wasn't very notable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think in the first one it was like kind of different because it was very much hometown girl leaves, comes back,
Comes back.
needs help, and like her brother's best friend. Like it was more less
It felt more
hallmarky and
real.
more real and like typical contemporary romance, but this
Yeah.
one was just like straight up Hallmark movie because
Mm-hmm.
outsider like designer girl like needs to escape her past, so she goes to a small town and meets this cowboy, and like it was good, well written, love the
Yeah.
author, love the
Yeah.
concept, love the characters because like it's a great family, it's a great series. What I was saying is I feel recently I've been reading series of specifically trilogies and typically in the romance genre.
Huh, can you say that
Can
one more
you
time?
hear me?
I can
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I've noticed recently, and like specifically in the romance genre, when I read like a trilogy or kind of maybe like a multi series book that kind of follows several characters in the universe. So, like Done and Dusted, the Rebel Blue Ranch series, like some of the
Yeah.
ones from like indie authors we read, one out of the three books will be bad for some reason. And
Hmm.
it makes no sense because you wrote an amazing usually an amazing first book that got me into it. I read the second one, not my favorite, and then I look forward to the third one, and the third one's great. And I'm like, is it because like you set out to do this and then you started writing it and you're like, oh, these aren't my favorite characters, or maybe not your favorite out of the plot, and you just really wanted to write these other two books? Don't write the third book. I mean, you can have the character in the other books. They don't need a plot, or if it's just like why is it like, and not to say that the second one wasn't bad, but like in done it in Rebel Blue Ranch, like, but it was, I think, literally 100 pages less than the other two. Yeah, but in Rebel Blue Ranch, like the middle one is 100 pages less, or like a significant amount less, because it's only 200 something pages, and the other ones are like 300 something pages. And the plot is very like classic. Like if you turn on a Hallmark movie right now, it's the same plot.
Uh-huh.
And I just don't understand why. Like, do you not like those characters as much? Were you trying to fill it? Like,
I have a
what's
theory.
going on? What's your theory?
My theory is they're going to write one that's really good. The first one's going to be really good and it's going to get you hooked. They want to write the second one because they care about it. But like it's not as good, so they can get you like excited and get you wanting to read the third one, which is the one usually everybody wants because it's been hyped up for so long.
Mm. I don't know if they turn in a transcript and a publishing company picks it up and
Mm-hmm.
tells them, hey, we want a series, write a series. And then they're like, okay, now I'm going to write a series. And they pull these characters out. But it doesn't make sense, because things like this it was probably sold as a set because there's 3 siblings. There was a story for each of the siblings. I feel like
Uh-huh.
we knew that from the beginning because of the way like people's relationships were in the first book. So there's no way that you did that. So did you write one really long book or like transcript that was all of them, and they were like, great, break it up into 3 and sell it? Like, is that why the middle one's so short? I don't know. I don't know anything about the publishing industry or how that works. So, not sure.
Yeah. I I think it's always so weird that they try to like hype up because it's like again, someone commented on my Goodreads review of Our Secret Moments and they were like, God, I was hoping the next book was going to be Archer, like the tattooed roommate, like the badass one, because it's like everybody fucking wants a book about him because
Yeah.
he's the hot one and he's kind of mysterious. So it's like everyone wants to know more. And I just think it's kind of like fucked that the authors do that. But I also have a theory about myself that I will not care for Teddy and Gus. There's something so
No.
perfect about Emmy and Brooks. Like they're like my perfect cowboy romance couple because it's like no one's pregnant, no one's getting married. They just love each other. You know? Like
Yeah.
we've talked about
I
this
did really
before,
like that one.
but I think I'll still really like it. Like don't get me wrong, because it's like I like Teddy's character and I like a bantery enemies to lovers, but I'm just like I don't know. I also think like
I think
Brooks is the hottest one. So like
I agree with that, but I think I'm going to like this one the most.
I
Just
I
based on
think
plot.
you are as well, and I'm excited for you.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only thing I read, and then I really sat down and got into Nightbane,
Yeah,
and I
same
finished
as well.
Nightbane.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Do
Um
you follow Alex Astor on social media?
um technically the demons account does, so yes.
She's so annoying. What? Who said that? Girl, you write a great book. Get off my For You page.
No, you write a great book. You don't need a social media presence. Your book does. Like you as an author does, but not
um,
you, this girl.
which I'm going to say something probably mean, and I probably shouldn't say this because
Okay.
whatever, but I, I feel like she's really enjoying her like fame. That's great. You deserve it,
Yes,
queen.
like me too.
But like the way she be posting is just so pick me, and like I would get it if it's like one thing if you're like trying to like promote your book and it's a lot of book content, but it's really just about like her
Mhm.
life as an author. That's great. That's interesting. Someone cares because they want to do what you do. Um
Mhm.
but like her personality and this book don't make sense to me because I love this
Mm-mm.
book. Don't like
Yeah.
what I'm seeing there. And that is just a personal thing. I probably shouldn't be mean, but
And I think there's just like a difference between like authors and fame and then like someone like a celebrity, like an actual, this sounds so mean, but like an actual celebrity. Like I have a different relationship with them because it's like they're not people to me. The authors of these books, that sounds so bad. You guys are people, but like I don't need to know your every waking move the way I need to know Tom Blythe's. You know, like
mm-hmm.
I personally don't care, but I see what you're saying. Like it's just I'm here for your art. Like I'm not here for you. So
um
fucking mean. Sorry, this headphone situation has really just gotten me. I apologize.
I'm amped in a bad way.
Amped, derogatory.
I feel like I just actually blacked everything out the second I finished that book because how could you do that to me?
Yeah, it's actually really painful. And I continue. I'm sure we'll get to the end of this book, that I have a comment on.
We haven't had a love triangle like this since Bella and Jacob and Edward.
So I have something to say on that. That was my comment that I've been saving. Um, so I only recently watched the Twilight Saga, and yeah, it's silly and goofy, and yeah, I enjoyed it, and yeah, I'm Team Edward. But there's something so trivial about Belle and Edward. It's like it's clear who the choice. You know, in that one, it's clear who
Yeah.
the choice is. In this, it's like I actually you couldn't make me pick right now because it's like they have both like such like raw real like reasons, whereas like I felt like Bella and Edward and Jacob were just like silly goofy like,
Yeah. Well, they
but
were also
clearly like they were,
teenagers,
that's
and
so true.
these are rulers of a realm.
Oh, it's completely different in that way. I just but it's probably because like I didn't grow up with Team Edward and Team Jacob, but so it's like I don't like, to me it's like kind of just trivial and silly and like they're
Yeah.
vampires and werewolves like, but I'm like no, this is real. Like this actually it actually pains me to pick, and I'm sure it pains our girl Isla to pick as well, because how does that happen
Like
to you, girl?
I
I'm
love
so
him, but
sorry.
that's my husband. Like
I love him, but I love him too.
I about
When he said
sobbed.
that's my wife,
I about threw
holy
my
shit,
book.
I about cried.
I'm surprised there aren't pages ripped out of this book.
I saw, like, I was almost in tears at my job.
At your place of
Like, I have
work.
pictures. My place of employment, I was almost in tears because of Nightbane. Nightbane almost got me fired from my job. Clickbait.
Not clickbait.
Not clickbait.
I don't know. It was interesting because I felt like, honestly, this was so well written. I liked that it wasn't either like just a whole flashback or like the present. Like I liked it going back and
Yeah.
forth because I felt like it moved it along really quickly, because them preparing for war, in my opinion, wasn't super interesting.
No.
Which is why this is like, it's like this Alex Astor is so impressive because like that takes
Yeah.
so much brain power. I think in my review I wrote um like I need to see your plot map, because how did you
Yeah.
think of this? Because you had to think of the like before you even wrote Lightlark, you had to think of the prequel of how that
Mm-hmm.
went down to write Lightlark. Then you would just sprinkle it in strategically here to get us where we are. Now what?
I don't.
Also,
I don't even
if
know.
we have to go to this new realm because she's half dead, like she died and he gave her his heart, but she's alive now, why do we care? We don't need to go to the new realm.
Yeah. I'm kind of
She's
confused on
alive.
that, but like, I think just it's because I thought that she was gonna just agree to go with Grimm, which she kind of does. But this is before the like, but I also love him. I thought she was just gonna agree to go with Grimm because she's like, I'll go with you if you like stop, because she obviously wanted to save Oro and be like, this war is like going to kill him, and like I don't want to kill him because I love him. But then she whipped out but I'm in love with this man. Like, of course, because it's like those memories were so. I only have a few things marked, but
me too. I like
the
because I was like so into and just like reading it, like just
yeah,
like very few things marked because the whole book is great.
the whole book
But
marked.
I'm more confused because the Oracle was like, "You're gonna kill one of them today." Did she mean like, oh, because you tell one of them you don't like love him, that like kills him inside, or like is
I
someone
think the Oracle
dying?
meant literally.
Okay,
I
but no
don't
one
think that like
died.
this world is meant for like you're gonna kill him because you don't love. Like, I don't think their world is like that. I think their world is very like you live or you die. So
I know,
I
but
think
but no one died. Did her leaving kill Oro somehow? And we don't know.
maybe,
I don't know.
but maybe
Sorry, I
you
like
totally could. No, you totally could be right that it's like her being like I still love Grimm even though I told you like I don't love him. Which is actually crazy if you think about it, because she's like, I think he asks her like, or she's like, ask me if I still love him, and he's like, do you still love him? And she's like, no, I love you. It's like this whole moment.
Yeah, but he
So
didn't
cute.
like answer if it ended up being a lie. Cuz like, you know in lie detector tests when like you can say something and like even if you believe it, like it'll still be like no, you're lying and you're
Right,
like,
right, right.
"Oh."
But I
So
don't think
like
she,
I
because
feel
she
like
didn't have
it
enough of her memories.
yeah, I guess that question's subjective. Like to time
Because
when
it's like,
the time when he asked her.
the time that he asked her was probably like she didn't have enough memories, and she's like, the memories I have had, he's still like a dick. But then,
But it makes so much more sense why, like, when she in the end of Lightlark, she like falls and Oro saves her, not Grimm. How pissed
mhm.
he is because he's like,
Yeah,
we're
that's my
married.
wife. Oh my god.
Also, crazy that he gave her that necklace in the middle of the centennial and like didn't tell her what it meant, and she didn't like remember what it meant.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do it
Weird.
then?
I don't know.
Like, I understand why he wouldn't do it before because like he
Yeah.
had the plan to like send her with no memory, and so he couldn't do it because then she'd be like, why the fuck am I wearing this necklace? But to be like, I just have this gift for you, and then it's like never gonna come off, and like she still doesn't remember, and like not even being like, remember when we got married?
That's crazy.
That's fucking
Forgetting your own
crazy.
wedding?
Also, was their wedding like private?
It had to have been.
Probably.
Like,
There's like no way.
he,
She had a
for
public wedding, and no one found out.
People Magazine did like an exclusive on their wedding.
Vogue when like they had it in on Lake Como, and Vogue covered it.
Yeah. Oh my god. I
I
bet
don't
it was
know. I
beautiful though.
really oh god, yeah. I really don't have like that many opinions on this book besides it's good. Like I don't know how else to convince you to read this. Like just read it. It's good. You'll
Just
love
read
it.
it. That's, yeah. I just like, I can't really explain it to you. You just kind of have to read it. That's because it's like,
Is this
don't
a
ask me what the
YA
book is about.
novel?
Yes. That's why I want to get it for the library, because it's like, I feel like the kids would eat this up.
It
It's
is.
good.
For Ron. Sorry, the dedication
Oh, for
is for
Ron.
Ron, but Ron has two R's.
Oh, okay, Ron.
So it was so relevant, but I just flipped this open to look at the like
Sorry.
publishing stuff.
Slay Ron.
Okay. Anyways, your thoughts, Rach?
Um,
Not on Ron, but you know.
not or on Ron.
Yeah, what do you think about Ron?
um I think as we got, obviously I think this was the point of Miss Astor's brain, was to get us to kind of fall back in love with Grimm. And I think that is such an interesting tactic that she used, because it's like,
Yeah.
obviously we ended Lightlark hating him because he betrayed her. He had lied to her for the entire centennial. Um, but then we kind of get
And
like this,
the year they knew each other too.
yeah. And so you're like, I just hate him, but like, I feel like we got, personally, I got exactly what I was looking for. Like, I want to know more about Grimm, and I feel like that this book really like gave that to us. Like, there's just
Mm-hmm.
this one scene like towards the end, like some of her final memories coming back, and so they have to go. The reason why they meet each other and like form this alliance in the first place is because Grimm needs this sword, this like magical sword, but he can't control it because of his nightshade powers. So he's like, "You're gonna do it," and she's like, "Okay." Basically, is that how that goes? And they find out that it's in this cave, and this cave is guarded by a dragon. Ooh, and a whole bunch of other like traps and arrows and whatever. So they're like, "Oh, we have to figure out how to get the sword." Whatever. So that happens, but then she like goes back, and he's like, "Why the fuck did you go back? Like, we already solved it. Like, no, it's so dangerous. Like, why would you do that?" And she goes, "I found this baby dragon."
That was such a weird side plot, but I loved it.
But I loved it because I ate it up, because I was like, me. And so she's like, "Can you keep it?" Like, because obviously like she can't, because like she's under
Yeah.
strict like her guardians like don't know she's like leaving,
Her
especially to
guardians
help.
don't know she got married.
That's crazy. No one knows she got married. Um, but she's like, "Can you keep the dragon?" And he's like, "Fine." And she's like, "It needs a name." And he's like, "The fuck? It don't need a name. Like, it should be grateful that it has a home." And she's like, "Please." Um, and she's like, "You're being mean to the dragon. Like, it looks sad." And he's like, "It doesn't have fucking like, no." And she's like, and it's just so cute because like his reaction to her is like, "I'll fucking do whatever she wants. Like, I'll name the fucking dragon if that's what
Yeah.
she like." And I'm just like, that I love Grimm. Like, I really do. I think it's because I just love him because he's so grumpy. But I'm like, see, she did the task of like of making it really hard to pick between Grimm and Oro. And
She
I think that's
did.
crazy.
But honestly, the more I think about it, because I just read something that was like right before I think the like final battle,
Yeah.
um, Oro is talking to Isla and he's saying like, I saved my heart all these years for you. Like I didn't, like obviously like he didn't, but he didn't fall in love or like meet anybody, and like
Mm-hmm.
he's saying like it's all because I was just waiting for you, like this was meant to be. And part of me makes that think like, yeah, of course we love him, he's so sweet and like good natured, but I feel like she kind of doesn't love it. Like she loves him, but like she doesn't love it. She loves him because he's a good person.
I think she loves him. That's a good point. Like, she loves him as a person, and she loves, it's like a friendship love.
Yeah. Mm.
Like, it's like, I love you. It's a I love and respect you. Not like a I love you, like to my core, I'm gonna rip your clothes off. Like, it's not I'm gonna get
Yeah.
married
Even
to you.
though even though they try and like portray it that way, but I hope at the end of the next book they kind of come to that conclusion and everyone can be happy and friends
Yeah,
forever.
I need everyone to be
But
friends
someone's going to die
forever.
and I'm going to be devastated.
And I'm gonna fucking punch a wall.
So, can't wait to have that happen.
I can't.
Ah! Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I get so amped when I like finish these books and then a few days later I'm just like I read it, it's done.
Yeah, I'm kind of like numb to the world after I read like a book like this, where it's like, so I don't know what to do with my life.
I know. So I was thinking, um, when we read Fourth Wing, a short 3 months ago,
I can't believe we read that in January.
like this year. Yeah, that's crazy.
That is
Um,
insane.
so when we read Fourth Wing, we were like, this is the best book ever. This got me back
Mm-mm.
into reading. I love
Uh-uh.
fantasy. But every book we've
This
read after it
has been
is
better.
has been better and better and better, which is so impressive. And I still think Powerless is one of my favorites. I just
Yes,
kind of
I
have like a soft
agree.
spot. I'm really love. We're currently reading Dance of Thieves, and I do like that one a lot. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
it's becoming hard to pick because like they just keep outdoing themselves somehow.
And I think it's the like, do you love it because it's the first book that you've loved in a long time? So it has that first feeling of like, oh, this is so great. Or is it just like average? Like, and you just kind of like hype it up to this next level, but then everything you read after that is actually better? You know what I'm
I
saying?
think so. Because like now honestly now I'm like I don't even really want to read Onyx. Like I'm going to, duh.
I
I'm
want to
invested.
know, but
But like part of me is like I feel like we don't do anything for like 5 to 600 pages in those books, and I think this was closer to, yeah, this was like just at 400, and I feel like we got everything we needed out of it.
and I think this Nightbane and Lightlark, I think were paced so well that there was never like a dull moment. Like, yes, sometimes them planning for war strategy room was like, okay, I don't really like need this,
Mm,
but it picked right up because someone said
yeah.
something at the end of the chapter, and you're like, damn.
Yeah. Um yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think it's a little bit of like I just love the thing I'm like currently reading right now always,
Mm-hmm.
unless I hate it, obviously. But most of the time like I like what I'm reading. Um I don't know. But I do like that it has created kind of like not like a competition, but these authors are trying to outdo themselves and each other in a good way. Not
It's
I think
crazy.
we're going to hit a
Yeah.
point where things are going to get bad for a minute, but right now we're doing great.
Yeah, right now it's fun because it's right now it's like, well, I need to be the next best enemies to lovers fantasy book. So then it keeps them
And yeah. And they're
like
trying to come
going.
up with like creative things, and they can be more creative in these worlds because it's not real life, and I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know. I
insane.
don't This just came out, I think,
In
like a month or
November,
so ago.
I
Oh
think.
yeah. So I'm not
I
sure
think
when
November.
the third one's gonna come out.
I don't know.
I think she said she's writing it. I
Well,
don't
girl,
know.
hurry up
That's all I got. I
for
can't wait
Ron.
for Rachel for Ron. Um, I can't wait for
Yes,
Rachel to read all of her romance books next month. I'm really
I
intrigued.
also I might actually ask the TikTok this because I also want to read another. I need to like get that fucking hockey book out of my brain, and I want to read another cowboy romance because I'm eating up cowboy romance right now.
Hmm.
And I was gonna ask maybe the TikTok because I'm deciding between two, and one of them is like I haven't read a cowboy romance like this because the main guy, he's not a cowboy, he's from a small town, but he's a country music star,
Oh, I
and
think I know what you're talking about.
he comes back to his hometown because he doesn't want to sign on his like the he doesn't want to re-sign his contract with his record label. So then the like assistant girl like who works at the label has to go convince him to sign because they're like, obviously we want this guy, he's like the biggest name in country music. And if I read that book, I am going to think of them as an older Mason Ramsey. Mason Ramsey, if you're listening, I love you. I think you're so talented. I think you have the voice of an angel, and I just love you. Or there's another one that's very like it's similar to Alive and Wells, but
Mhm.
it's not like they're both like both the main characters are from the small town, but the main girl, like goes off and kind of does her own thing, and she comes back. So it's like kind of a done and dusted situation, but she's
Mhm.
escaping like a toxic relationship. So she comes back to the old town, the her whoa. She comes back to her small town, and she like gets reacquainted with this, like, he's like the superstar of the hometown because he went off and played for the Cowboys. How about the
Cow-
boys?
how about them boys? Cowboys fan right here.
Yeah.
Sadly, unfortunately,
So
I was born
unfortunately,
into it.
yeah, it's okay.
Legally
But I'm
have
like,
to be a
that one,
fan. It's terrible.
yeah. Actually, if you live in the state of Texas, you have to be a fan. Um, but I'm like, that one kind of sounds interesting, but that one's like very similar plot.
Mhm.
I don't know. Anyway, sorry, but yeah, I am gonna read a whole bunch of popular romances probably next month. I have 3 authors in mind.
I'm excited because I love romance. I feel like that's like way up my alley,
Yeah,
and it's Rachel likes more unique plots,
yeah,
but I
you could
love a
totally say
classic
unique.
plot.
Oh, I love a plot. Like, I was thinking about this today. Right before this, I was like, I. It's kind of weird. Like, I've been reading a lot of books that deal with darker ideas, usually death. Um, just things like the serial killer romance, things like Vicious or like Belladonna. Even though that's a gothic romance. Um, so it's nor fantasy nor contemporary. It is its own being. But I'm like, I think the contemporary romance sometimes, like, I was trying to think of one that I really have enjoyed, but I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think it's
I'm getting
really
off topic.
oversaturated contemporary romance in a sense
Mm-hmm.
because so many people self-publish in it.
Yeah.
Not to say that other genres don't have that, but I found that I think people think romance is the most approachable, and I would strongly disagree with that because you have to like please people, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think fantasy can be approachable. Like, I'm also reading Vow of Thieves as well. Obviously, we read together. But my boss asked me like, "Oh, what are you reading?" So I was kind of telling her about it, and I was like, and she always asks like, "Oh, like, do you think that'd be like good for like the library?" And the library I work at is middle school and high school. Um, so, and I was like, honestly, I'm gonna be so honest with you right now. No, this is not a digestible fantasy for like normal readers. Like, you have to be like, to like, personally for me, I felt like I couldn't jump in with like Dance of Thieves because I feel like it's
Yeah.
so dense in a great way. Like, I
It
really do
is.
like it,
Yeah.
but
It's
it's
also
so
kind of
like
gory.
it takes me a long time to read. One, because the font is like 6 point font, Times New Roman, like single spaced, and two, it's just there's a lot of politics that go into it. So it's
I
like
was
I feel
literally
like,
Googling character
mm-hmm.
names. I was on a
So,
wiki threads.
me too. I can't remember anyone's name except for Jace, who is. I can't believe the book opens with him like that. Just
That's
like
crazy.
totally like
That's exactly what I wanted. They knew and they gave it to me.
another blonde man, guys.
I didn't know he was blonde. I think we talked about this
She
last week.
yeah
You were like, he's blonde. I was like, he's blonde.
yeah. I was like,
When
oh my
did
god,
I
I just like
miss this?
I don't know.
But I
I
think I
remember saying
also
yeah. Go ahead.
were excited. I also started. I think I started confusing Powerless and Dance of Thieves because they have a lot of similar points of like she's a thief. She's from like the poor
Mm-hmm.
part of the kingdom and
Right, right.
yada yada. So I think I just was like, wait,
He is blonde.
I did, in fact, go into the Pinterest board the other day, and I was taking a gander, and I was like, yeah.
And I just
that one. He's the one.
And you did that, and you did it so well because, and it's just, and I could talk about this for hours of like, why don't we like blonde men? Do we just all have bad experiences? Like, not we,
yes,
but y'all. Well, yeah, but
we do, unfortunately.
Am I willing to try again? Yes.
Always. Don't know. Okay, well. See y'all next week. I hope we finish Dance of Thieves. I'm actually probably going to go read that right now.
I will have better headphones. I will actually charge my headphones. Yeah. I'm excited to keep reading.
Me too. It's been a good time. We've been on a good run of books, I feel like.
I feel like we've been kind of tearing through a lot of stuff.
Okay. Bye.